Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again. Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation.
That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished.
Howdy doody. No face today. No face today. I don't have a thin enough shirt that will cope with the heat. I need to transfer all this streaming stuff down to the bottom layer, bottom floor of the house. But we don't get much heat, so we're probably going to wait another day or two, then it'll be cold again. Anyway, let's just see if we got some audio for all this streaming stuff. Yeah, we got a bit of audio, no face. I could give you a quick glimpse if you like, but I'm going to have to get in front of the camera. Here we go, ready. Hello and goodbye. Yeah, I hope I don't switch it on by mistake. Anyway, so just carrying on with this. Before we do the simulated waterfall, let's get this VFO button working. So we'll get swap VFO A and B with this button, and that shouldn't take too much effort. And if we get that working fairly quickly, I think we will, then we can just hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Just see if I've still got audio. Settings. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be a weird one today. Yeah, it's going to be a weird one. Anyway, so I'm just going to get this button working and swap in between the two. Now, it's obviously got to take into account what mode you're in, what power level you're on, and all that kind of stuff. So it's got to swap one to the other. I don't know if it does power. Let's leave the power off. So the power will stay no matter what you're doing. So there's certain things that are persistent. So the power is persistent to the main channel. Okay. So we don't swap power, because otherwise, I'll own up now. I've never really used VFO A and B. I don't know what it does other than swap. I don't know how many more people watch it, but anyway, don't they, know what it is? I don't know what it is. So I'm just putting it back in there. So anyway, because we've got the button, so let's just do it. Let's carry on. Just got to keep seeing if I've got audio. Yeah, it's the only feedback I've got today. Right, so let's just carry on. So. Oh, I noticed a glitch from yesterday. Not a glitch. An omission. Let's say an omission. An omission. So I'll show you what the omission is. Oh, I won't be able to do that unless I switch the rig on. Right, will it show up without the rig? So if I go on to here, oh, it might do. If I scroll like this, I noticed if I say if I leave it on Vox and I click off, it says Vox there, but if I click it, then click with the mouse, say to monitor level, guess what, it's still going to say Vox. Ready? Yeah, because the routine that updates that I haven't put into the click, I've only put it into the scroll. You key it to keyer, then you go back and it's keyer. So let's sort that out now. It's not much of a thing to sort out, but we need to sort it out. Right, so what's this one here? Is that the one? Select, preview, mouse down. Right, so I don't know where it is now. So it's when we click. So we're okay on that bit. Let's just have a look what that bit's doing. Preview, mouse down. Maybe that was the right one. Yeah, it is the right one. Look, so all we've got to do is take that and put it in with the click event. So yeah, so all I've got to do is copy that exactly as it is and go over to the click event. Hang on, what's happening here? Oopsie daisy, a fantasy. Right. So we've got to put it in the click event. Bear in mind, this room is actually like an oven today. The sun comes back around this side of the house after 12 o'clock and beats this room, and in the winter it's freezing in here and the rest of the house is okay. In the summer this is too hot and the rest of the house is okay. So really what I should do is move out of this room, but there's so much equipment in it, it will take a week. I'll never get it back the same, or set up a new PC somewhere else. Another PC. Anyway, so right, so it's the click we want. Now finding that click, so let's go down to something that we click on. Part of this system, yeah, this is it. So where is the click? It's not there. So how am I doing the click then? I wish I knew. No, is the menu? Oh, I don't know anymore. Is it? Oh, sorry, here it is. Right, so the function, and each border has got a, there it is, function, menu, left mouse button down. So we go into there, and this is the function. So it's get border by ID tag. So we're doing that anyway when we click on it. So let's just put this bit in here. Right, so we're going to do that by that switch value. So we better push that into there, just like that. We don't need two of them, so take one out. And get name. So we need to put that value in there. So that's a byte, and that's a uint, and this is a 16. So right, so what we've got to actually do is somehow put the switch value in there. So stick the switch value in there, and yeah, it's a bit of a weird one today. I wonder if without the face. Anyway, so we need it to be, what does it need to be? It needs to be a byte. And the switch value is a uint, so I'll have to do a convert to byte. Unless I go and change everything to int. It's always a possibility. Right, so let's see if that works. Get rid of that problem. Oh, let's might as well put the radio on as well. Ah, I haven't got the USB plugged in. Still plugged into a printer. Damn it. Damn it, you and your plan about Jacobites spread to the bone. Right. Stop this a minute. And plug the USB. It's alright, I've got no long USB leads, so I just don't know where I've put them. So I have to keep unplugging this long one that fits in the radio and swapping it over to the printer because everything's too far away. Right, let's put that radio on. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a funny one tonight with no face on. Anyway, right, so if we run that now and give it a test, we probably don't need it running to do that test, but I will do it anyway. Right, so if I go click on here, I'll scroll it to Vox, come out, and it'll say Vox level. Is that right? Oh, Vox gain. Vox gain, not Vox level. So there's a problem. So we'll go back to there. AMC level. Oh, that is AMC level. So what is going on? Vox. Why actually going mad? Vox level. Vox gain. I think yeah, it's must be done wrong in the so go Vox delay. Yeah, that's right. Procedure level. So there's another problem there. When I got ChatGPT to fill in the details into the list, it's called it something else. Anyway, we can sort that out. So let's go past that, go to antenna Vox. If I suddenly change to mon level, nothing happens. Why is that? Where's my click gone? Oh, I know what's happened. I'm doing an if statement and it doesn't like it. Right, so if the transceiver mode is greater than the function class, so it's not actually changing transceiver mode. That's a weird one, isn't it? We got some weird stuff going on today. Right, let's go back and fix that function menu class. So AMC level, Vox level, and that should be Vox gain, not Vox level. Vox gain. Okay, that fixes that. And now we've got to have a look at what's going on here. So maybe we don't do this. Let's take that off. I thought we weren't, yeah, because we're actually pointing to it instead. So we probably don't need to do that. If not valid, adjust parameter, just default to the first element. It's not doing it there, it's just switching it. Okay, so maybe we don't need that either. I might actually go and put a shirt on in a minute to put the video on. I don't know if I can find a very thin one. Right, so let's try again. So we open that, we come over to Vox gain, we let go and we've got Vox gain. So, and then I'm going to go over to mon level, so switch this time. Okay, now okay, so far so good. Function menu and 21. So if I come out, it says play. Yeah, so yeah, that's not quite tracking. You need to stop that. So we don't want to select, we want to select it but not change the value. So we need to go down to where's that other one gone? Where's that other one gone? I can't find it now. So there's your function, left mouse button down, but we need the scroll wheel as well. It's probably quicker just to find it here. function menu mouse wheel. Oh, here it is. It's just here. No, it's not. Oh, that's the mouse wheel. Yeah, that is wrong. That is the one. So have I taken the wrong one with me? No. Right. Okay, we need the click value. So that's the left mouse button down. Yeah, so that's that one. And we need to find... Here it is. So it's right close to the other one. Whew. Right, so what have we got here? So we've got transceiver mode equals last transceiver mode. Yeah. So we've got some if statements going off here. If the transceiver mode is not equal to the function menu. So maybe we need all this. So my brain is fried. I've been out working again today, so my brain is a bit fried. So we'd have to put it in here. Can we make this work? So if the transceiver mode is not equal to the transceiver mode function menu, then remember it. Selected index. I don't even know what this will do. Right, so let's just try that for a little bit. See what we can get out of it. Oh no, sorry. So no, we did need that there, yeah. So I copied the wrong bit. Yeah, so I copied the wrong bit. So that needed to default back to 1 if it was greater. We needed that. But this bit here, we actually need that to change up here. That's using the selected index. So, but that is from, this is a left mouse button down. So we're going to have to do it a slightly different way, like what we've got here. So we'll bring them out a bit. So if transceiver mode is not equal to, alright, where's it getting that transceiver mode from? Oh, it's up the other way, isn't it? Hang on, go up the other way. Right, where's it getting transceiver mode from? Preview mouse up. Right, so yeah, if the transceiver, so it's not getting it from there, it's looking at it overall, and it's saying the selected index, tab, control. Right, I don't know what it's doing. Can't work it out, so we'll have to just try it. Right, we'll have to try it. So, is the function menu. Transceiver mode is function menu. Right, we'll just try it. I don't know what it's going to do. The problem is, it's not going to do anything. Because it needs to change this. So it's just getting the label at the minute, isn't it? It's just getting the label. So we need to do that, but we need to do it up here. So maybe we just move that into there. We'll try it. I'll put it up into there. We're not going to do both, so we'll just do. We'll just take that out for a minute. Last transceiver mode is transceiver mode, right? Transceiver mode is switch value. Okay. So maybe we can move that around the back of here. but that is part of the other function. I don't know now. I've been to sleep. Right, just check the audio. Okay. So maybe we can move that round back of here. Right, okay. So let's just try it. My brain is just a bit fried today after being out in the sun all day. Right, so we go around to here. Vox gain, we got Vox gain. I switch to mono level by clicking it instead of scrolling. And we're on Vox gain, so that's no good, is it? Oh, it's gone back to Vox gain, even though I've clicked down here. Oh, and it's disappearing as well. Why is it disappearing? I didn't tell it to disappear, did I? Right. So this is the left mouse button down. Why would it disappear? Oh, because I'm actually switching it. Yeah, I'm switching the index off. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So let's take that out of there. And we've already taken it out of there, so right, let's try again. Yeah, I have on and off days, so my brain doesn't work some days. Anyway, so go down to Vox gain, I let go, it's got Vox gain, I bring it back, I select monitor level, it won't let me select. Oh, it did set it. Not at first though. So I go back to Vox gain, I come out, and I click there. Nah. Right. So, yeah. A Tranceiver mode, I don't even know what's going on. Right, so we need to do something based on this, if we're clicking on it. But we need to make the... Yeah, I'm starting to think straight now. Yeah. Maybe we need to keep that. Tranceiver mode equals function menu. We need to do the same thing whether we're clicking or scrolling, basically. Right, okay, so if it's function menu last, it'll go, I don't know. Let's try that. Let's try it. Trial and error. Find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change and run the whole thing again. Yeah. Right, so we scroll to Vox gain. We click again and we got Vox gain. I click over to here, nothing happens. It says I've clicked 15, and if I click again, it selects it. So the first time it won't let you select it. I'll try and analyse what's going on. So it's getting the switch value from here. Switch value, and it's finding, where are we? We're nowhere. Okay, we just need to select that level. If the transceiver mode is not equal to the transceiver mode's function menu, which is if the okay, so we don't need to do that at all. Let's not do that at all. Alright, so let's not do this one at all. Okay. Let's just bring that back like that. Okay. And all we're saying is if, yeah. So maybe we don't need that either. Although maybe we do. Tranceiver mode. No, I don't know. I don't think we need that either. Tranceiver mode is last transceiver mode. Last transceiver mode is transceiver mode. And then we're making this one equal that. Well, so we're setting the transceiver mode. No, it doesn't need to be that. It needs to be this one. Yeah, so we need to alright, so what is it expecting? A static int. So is that an int? That's a byte. So we're converting a switch value, which is a new uint. Okay. I have no idea what's going on now. Let's just take that out of the system a minute. And that one. Can't think straight, so we're switching this one, yeah. Okay, let's just do that. Let's do it. Yeah, it's the trouble when you halfway through something, you need to finish it off before going. I was too tired last night. Right, so go down to the Vox gain. It says Vox gain, and we go click on Moni level. It goes straight to it. We come out of that and we're on Moni level. Oh yeah, yeah. And we come out of that and then we go. We don't want to be registering that we're on here. We want to click to it, but it still needs to say the last one or level. Let's see. Message. Now it's actually come up with message. And it'll be on record. So yeah, they aren't values you can change. Yes, those two will be. Right, so it's not rejecting it. So I only want to be doing the same if I'm scrolling. So if I scroll back and I select Vox delay, and if I scroll to Moni level, if I scroll on to message, it goes to the last one, which is BK delay. But really what it should have done, should have gone up there. Or select, it's got to select something. It depends. These are more like buttons, and these are something. Oh yeah, it's an awkward one. Anyway, let me go and find a shirt, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Although face cam Dave cam is back. There we go. Oh dear, too hot today. Right, here we go. So I don't really give a damn about this menu yet till I start using it, but I don't want to be coming back to it. I want to get it finished and that's it. So, where can we fix it? So the left mouse button down. All it needs to do is the same as the other one. So transceiver mode, we need to set it to... No, the transceiver mode has nothing to do with this function, is it? Hang on, let me just refresh your memory. What's this one? Noise, yeah, so that's nothing to do with that. We haven't actually come out of it. Yeah, so we don't need to touch that. Right, so it's nothing to do with the function menu. So if the function menu is what's selected, now if the transceiver mode is greater than, right, function menu, what's this? Max. So I think I might have made a mistake there with transceiver mode. It's nothing to do with this function menu class. The only thing it's doing is checking whether you're, I don't know. So all we need to do is say if the function menu, if the selected index, or I don't know. I'm actually going mad now. This room is red hot downstairs. It's cool, but like I said, I can't get all the equipment down there. I'll have to extend coaxes and all sorts of stuff. Move rigs, radios, and probably next week it'll be freezing. I don't know. I'll have to do something. So if the transceiver mode, we're not changing the transceiver mode. I'm clicking, all I'm doing is selecting one. Maybe I'll just select it and be done with it. Let's just select it and be done with it. But I don't want it to display, actually it needs to just go back to default, to number 1. So if I say, so that transceiver mode's got nothing to do with this function. I copied that from an earlier part, so that must be wrong as well. So the mouse wheel, no, it's the other way, isn't it? Go up the other way. Right, so if the date and time now, don't know what that's doing. Oh, kill the drag. Then we're doing, if we're not dragging, we're doing this. Transceiver mode is not equal to transceiver mode's function menu. So I've picked the wrong one, haven't I? Yeah, this one shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be compared. I've got the wrong one here. So that's where that problem is. So that's why I've copied this bit up to there, and it's nothing to do with it. If the transceiver mode is not equal to the if you're not on the function menu, do this. Remember the mode. So the last transceiver mode, so we can switch back to it when we come out of the function. And then we make the selected index for the tab control equals the function menu, and we go to the function. Yeah, that's right. Well, we don't need to do any of that for clicking. Else, if the transceiver mode is equal to the function menu, then transceiver mode is the last tab control selected as transceiver mode. And if the transceiver mode is greater than the function mode max function, it's probably, that shouldn't be compared with that. It's nothing to do with it. So what we need a variable for that. So you got your function class. What have we got here? We've got the selected menu item. Function menu right, so it should be that one. It should be that one and not the other one. So if let's just change that. if the function menu selected item, which is part of this, if the selected menu item is greater than the max, that's what I should have done, then set it to 0. Yeah, that's all I had to do. Right, okay, so we need to do the same. Let's fix that. We'll have to try that in a minute. And we'll have to go down to the mouse left click, and we need to swap this out for that one. Okay, so we're going to switch it. So we're going to switch it even though we don't need to switch it. So we're just going to switch it there if we're over back to 0. Otherwise it's going to set this. So we need to move that into here. Alright, so else, do an else. Put that into there. So if the selected item is greater, we just set it to 0. Otherwise, we go off the switch value. That's it. And transceiver mode should be taken care of in this bit, I would have thought. Get name, get borders now. So we're not. Yeah. So we need to do a little bit with this as well. No, because we're going to come out of it by pressing the knob. So that should work. Let's see what happens. Let's give that a try. Hello, Dave. Dave's back. Dave's got his shirt on now. Tiny thin shirt. Right, okay. So we go on function. We move over to Vox gain. We let go. We got Vox gain here. Go back in, and I click over here. Come out. We got money level. That's good. Then if I scroll to BK delay, we've got BK delay. If I then scroll to message and come out, we've got level. That's good. That's what we want. And it goes back to level. So now let's see if we can click on it. So I go Vox gain, come out, then go back in. I click on message, and I come out, and we're on level. And if we go back in, we're on level. Yes, that's it. That's the one. That's what I was trying to do. Right, so all this junk here can go. Right, the brain started to work again now. Right, that's good. Okay, so now we can carry on with what the thumbnail says. Get the VFO A and VFO B and AB working. Right, let's do that then. I'm going to be deafened here because the fan is blowing right in my ear hole. Let me just lower it a tiny bit so it doesn't blow in my ear hole. That's better. Yeah, I was actually going deaf then from yeah, right. Okay, so we're alright. So we want to press this button. At the minute it doesn't do anything. So we need to have a RigState. So when we toggle it, it swap one RigState to the other. And all the information for the VFO and the mode has to change with it. Now I'm not sure we are actually setting a rig mode. We've got them, but we're not doing anything with it. So what we've got to do is have a look at RigState. So this is the class, RigState class. So we've got our VFO A and B frequency, TX in hertz, RX. Yes, it could be split as well. So we've got VFO A and B, we've got band, so we're gonna have to create an A and B. This won't create an A and B, this is just allowing to hold a value of what A and B was. So we'll have to create we're gonna have to create some variables here. This is just the class. That's the class, so we're gonna decide where we're gonna put it. I don't think this has got a constructor. Let's just make sure we've got the audio still. So we'll have to create yeah, just gotta be careful that doesn't blow onto the microphone. You can lower the wind level a bit. Yeah, lower the wind level there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to think where we're gonna put these variables. So I suppose it's gonna have to go. We've got a rig state change, rig modes. So we've got a rig mode, rig state change. So we've got a class there for rig state. Update rig mode. So we've got rig mode class. So that's doing some handling, not a lot. So we can either put it. We've got to put it somewhere. So it is a rig state, but that's a rig state. That's a change. So that's not the same thing. That's a class we're using. So we've got to put it. I don't know. Let's see what classes we've got going on. We might have to put it in main. I don't really want to put it in main. I want to put it in its own place. I don't want much in main window at all. So we've got current rig state. So we have got a current rig state, but what we want is to extend that to A and B. So up until this point I've not used A and B, so we've just got a single rig state. So what we can either create a so what we'll do is we'll create an array of rig states, a list, and if we want to extend it we can have more than one list maybe. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll create a list of rig states. So we can try and do it, or we can reference something else. We've already got a list of stuff. I don't know where we've used that before, list. Yeah, so we've got a scan scope. We should scan. Yeah, here's a list here. So we'll just copy that formula there. Okay, and we'll add. Yeah, we'll instantiate two rig states. Right, so back to this. So we're going to go and put it here. So it's a list, but it's not a list of seat class, it's a list of rig states, which is everything we need to reference what's going on with the radio. Right, that has to be the same. So we want two of them. How do you do them in line, basically? We'll do them manually. So this current rig state we don't need anymore, because we're going to actually, that's going to be here. So it's not current rig state, it's VFO rig states. Rig states list. Okay, VFO rig state lists. Yes, doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? So the first element in the list is A, obviously A, and the second's B. And the good thing is, if you want even more rig states, you're okay. You can have more than VFO A, B, C, D, and whatever. I don't know what use that would be. Probably nothing. But we don't have to use it. We just leave it there. So we've got to find all references to this. First, we've got to go into the initializers wherever we're initializing something. we'll have a look. There's the current rig state. We're doing it there. So we'd have to, and we're setting a few things. Yeah. So we could do. I'll tell you what we could do with a separate class for this. Yeah, let's do a separate class. Get it. We don't want to get rid of it out of there. So once we start having more than one, we've got to start. We've got a load of things we need to initialize. So and we'll have to bring it in from an XML file or a database ultimately. So you draw. You know, anyone can have their own configuration as it starts. They'll probably have to save it out, stream it out to an XML file or a database, and bring it back in when you load up again. So let's get back up here. So we're gonna create a VFO states. Yeah, because this is different to actually memory states. But can these be used for memories as well? Because it's basically exactly the same thing. Yeah, so child 0 and 1 could be A and B, and anything further will be memory locations. So it's a list of rig states that we keep them. Now, if we're going to have a list, we might as well have a dictionary, so we can bring them back quickly. Yeah, let's do that. So we want to have a list, we'll have a dictionary. We've already got a dictionary somewhere. Down here, there it is, cat dictionary. So we'll use a key value pair. So the key will be, instead of it being a string, it'll be a struct or a value. So we just got to find this. Where is it? So cat commands. Where did I put? Oh, there's a dictionary there. Look. So there's a dictionary, and there's some inline stuff. So there's a dictionary of cat commands. So we're actually doing some inline stuff. So we could do the same idea. Let's copy that. We'll cut out all that. So we're going to create a new. Now we'll have to treat it as channels. So we could do the same idea. Yeah, we'll treat it as channels. Oh, it's like a channel, isn't it? Yeah. So let's create a new class. Add a new item. It's going to be a class, and we've got to give it a name. So the name is going to be a dictionary. It's not frequency, it's channels. It's not a channel, I don't know what to call it. It's a dictionary of rig states. So let's see. VFO A and B will be one of each, and any memory channels will be whatever comes after that. Index will have, so we'll allocate memory, banks of memory to, in groups, and then thereafter we can fetch them at a pinch of salt. Just fetch them out of like mid-air, so fetch them out by a key value pair. So yeah, but the value will be a complete rig state, which is multiple values class. Yeah, I'll do it that way. So what do we call it? Tell you what, we shall ask ChatGPT. See if it understands what I'm talking about. Let's ask it, because I want to make it right. So on YAESU transceivers, they have a VFO A and VFO B and memory banks of stored channels stroke anyway RigStates. I am creating a class, a WPF we're creating a class and are going to make a dictionary using a key value pair. So the first and second in the dictionary will be VFO A and VFO B. Then from the third to whatever. Oh, I got sniffles today. Will be memory channels. The value of the dictionary what's going on? The value of the dictionary will be a RigState class. The key will be a int 32 right, so what I need I can't spell today is a name, an apt name for the dictionary. Right, what's it going to say? A few names would fit, depending on how you want to think about it in the code base. Int RigState, rig storage. Why? Both VFOs and memories without forcing one concept. Storage matches how radios treat VFOs and memories are stored operating states. Future proof if you later add home channel, BMSH, quick memories, etc. So RigState state slots, yeah, they're not as good names. Dictionary, rig slots, operating registers, channel map, frequency registers. It's not all about frequency. Rig slot. Tends to read nicely. What does? State slots in rig slots. No, don't know what that is. Enum rig slot, yeah. Okay, rig storage, I like the memory. Rig storage, I like storage, but not rig. State storage, radio storage, memory store. Nice YAESU field though, slightly misleading since I live there too. Memory store, right. Slot store, register store, state store. Right, state store is probably the one I'd personally pick. State store. Nah, it sounds... State store. Nah, I don't like that. I like store. I like store, but not state. I can't spell today. Or is this keyboard going crazy? Maybe me. A few that feel neutral. Dictionary in RigState. Channel store. I suppose channel store. Are they channels? I suppose they are channels. Good if you're okay. Right, what memory store? I suppose we could store RigStates in a memory store. Slot store, he still wants slot store. Frequency store, register store. Right, so memory store, memory, a memory slot. Memory store, it wants slot. I like memory slot. A really solid choice. Memory slot works well because it naturally covers both concepts you need of just special slots. Memory channels are the rest of the index space. Avoids overloading words like state. Yeah, so a memory slot. Okie dokie. That's the one. Cheers. Nice, that one fits your setup cleanly. Yeah. Okay. So it's a memory slot class. Memory slot. Okay. So it's the class of memory slot. You can spend hours thinking of what to call this stuff. What the hell is going on here? Eh? Is my keyboard playing up? Or is it me? Right, public class memory slot. Why is that one there? Oh my god. Public memory slot. Okay, so we want a dictionary now. Right, there's your dictionary. View cat command. No, so the dictionary is so RigStates. So we want a RigState. Right, it's not gonna like that, but we don't want a string. We want an int. And another int. So, and this is going to be called a memory slots. There we go. Actually, memory slots dictionary. Memory slot dictionary. A memory slots dictionary or memory slot dictionary. That's it, memory slot dictionary. Right, so we don't want all this now. We need to create our own. So to do it in line, we need one for, so a few basic things. We want, let's just save that out. So what we want is to create, let's say how are they doing it again? Where have I gone? Where's it gone? Here it is. So they're doing a setting certain things. Cat command. So, right. Yeah, we're not doing cat commands. So we're coming over to this, and yeah, we've got an open thing. It's just put them in line, hasn't it? Okay, so we've got many things we can use. We're using strings. We're not using strings, so we want to go back to. We need an enum really. I'm not sure if I like using enum. I'd like to use my own structs. But I'm open to do things I don't want to do. Right, let's use an enum if I can find one. I've got to find an enum there. Right, let's just create our own enum, right? So, we've got to call it something, so we want to create some enum here. Memory slot enum, okay. So, public enum. Right, what we're going to call it? Memory slot enum. I don't know. I don't know. Tell you what. Right, so enum and I don't know. Right, public enum, and we're going to call it something. Memory slot. The class is called memory slot. So I'll just call it slot. No, I can't do that. Memory slots. Memory slots. This is the big bane of every programmer. What to call stuff. And it's going to be ints. We'll just go with ints. No, it doesn't like that. So well, I don't use them very often, so that's why. I'll just put that in there and see what it reckons to it. Syntax correction. Right, I don't want to list the numbers. It's an enum, so oh, what's it doing now? Right, so I mean, it's not telling me what the enum type is. Always underline an integral type. Like default type is int32. That'll do. Okay, so public enum slot, and then I don't need to put the commas in. Can I remove the values? Yes, go on. Yes, of course you can. But it behaves a bit differently than people expect. If you remove values, C auto assigns them. If you write, it automatically assigns. Yeah, that's okay. But when it matters to not remove values, in your case, you should usually not remove them if you rely on stable mapping to a dictionary index. You might serialize store settings. You want future proofing. Right, okay. Okay, so we'll put the values in, so it's almost the same as a struct to me, but anyway. Okay, we'll have the values then. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll have the first one is going to be VFO A. Probably doesn't like that, does it? Right, VFO A. Oh. Yeah, I also want it to. Yeah, I don't want. I want to use the word. Hang on. I want to have the enum use an index, but also have a field value string. You can't directly store extras like display string and enum value. It's just a name integer. So there's a way of doing it. Memory slot, then attach a string via a description attribute. I can do that to read the string. Get description, enum value, field, get type field, get custom attribute. That'll do. Usage. Text equals get description. Dictionary instead of attributes. So I'm using this dictionary. Okay, so I'll use a dictionary for the enum. Right, memory slot. What the hell? I've done this before, but I do it in a different way. It worked okay, so just create a new class and a list of classes. But if you want something more flexible and easy to localize later, read only dictionary, memory slot string, name equals new. Well, you can't do that. That's, yeah. Working with 4.8. Some of the newer, yeah, I know. Enum stays simple and indexed. Then a memory slot full supported in 4.8. Description. Extension method works fine. Get description, this enum value. Enum extensions. Usage. Text equals get description. A recommended pattern. If you're binding to UI, do this. Get values, type of memory slot. Combo box. No, I don't need to do that. No, we're not selecting it like that. We might do later, maybe. To use a converter. What not to do don't try to embed strings in enums, not possible. Don't rely on enum order without explicit values. Don't overuse dictionaries unless you need runtime changes. Right. Right, okay. I thought I would froze up then. Have I froze up? No. No, not froze up. Right, ready. So, is there a better way to store and retrieve memory slots? By casts. Make a real memory slot class. Index. Well, I've done class before. Index and name. Yeah, well, that's the old way of doing it. Define your slot once. Yeah. Okay. And then read it back. Store directly with an object. No casting, no enum. Directionary, memory slot, RigState, memory store. Usage, memory store, memory slot, VFO equals a new RigState. Yeah. Oh, that's easy. Yeah. Why is it better? Enum limitations, each slot carries meaning. You can later add even better binding. Memory slots all. If this is more than a toy project, use memory slot class plus static definitions and dictionary. Right. Could you create a memory slot class with a dictionary with a dictionary as you suggest. I can't spell. As you suggest. With say 3 example entries in the card in the list. Sure. Right. So memory slot. So there's your class. Index and name. Override string to return. Name. Or dictionary key stability. Bool equates object bool. Object is memory slot other and index equals other index. Right. Other. Where's he getting other from? Override, get hash code, return index, get hash code. Slot definitions, your enum replacement. So read only, slot, VFO, memory 1. I read only list. It's using new again. Why is it doing that? I told it. Right. 4.8. It's changed it all again, hasn't it? Public seal class memory slot. Store dictionary using reference safe keys. I think it's gone nuts. It's absolutely gone balmy. Slot new RigState. Yeah, fair enough. Slots equals dictionary. Memory slot. Dictionary, memory slot, RigState slots get. So you can't set it. Oh, we want to be able to set it as well. I want to change the values. This is better. Why this is a better approach. Need to write as well. You want to clean. Da 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 da. Slot. What's he doing now? Slots, try get value, slot. Memory slot. It's just craziness. Right, full state. It's losing me now. It's this terminology, slot. It's just drive everyone nuts. Thanks for trying. It seems you have confused me with terminology. Slot. I will do it the old way. Cheers anyway. Fair enough. Sometimes keep it simple is the right, but especially so it's, yeah. Know the mental model you want. If you go old way, sometimes like this is perfectly solid. Yeah, let's forget that. Let's just do it ourselves. Right. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're not going to do that there. Right, we're going to do an inline thing. If we can find it again, where's it gone? Here it is. No, it's not. There it is. So we just want. Oh, we don't want that. Right. So that's a bad choice. So we'll just put these two here. And get rid of these. Okay. So we've got our. Forget the enum. Struct. Struct memory slots. So we want VFO A. So we go VFO underscore A equals 0. Okay. I'm going to tell it what it. Can I say what it is? If they're all bytes, no int. No. Right, let's ask it one more thing. Can I set up a struct with a int defined at the top only. Does it understand what I'm talking about? Right, I don't want to type all this. No, it's not understanding. Instead of writing public const int on every entry. Yeah, use an enum. There is no way. This is exactly what enums are for. Okay, well, I'll use an enum then. Right, let's use an enum. Okay. I just don't want to type all that out every time. Bloody hell to do. Okay, so A equals 0. B equals 0. So we've got A and B, VFO. Right. And the last one doesn't have a comma, yeah. Last one. So, oh, you can't have a minus, you've got to have an underscore. An underscore, right, okay. So we've got an enum, so we need a constructor for memory slot. So we'll create a dictionary there, and we'll put a public memory slot. Okay, and we'll, that's your constructor, so it needs to set up the memory, so we need a function private void set up, and I'll just call it VFOs. Set up VFO. Set up VFOs. Okay, so we're going to do a need to write to the memory slot now. Memory slot dictionary. So memory slot dictionary add. It needs a key value pair, so we're going to go VFO underscore A, comma. Is it going to let us do that? Value of the element, right? So it's a new. It's a new. Actually, we've got to create it first, so let's create it first. So we're going to go new RigState, yeah. So we can reuse it. So RigState RS equals a new RigState. Okay, a new RigState. Okay, and we can just put the info in there. RS dot right active VFO VFO a frequency equals right. So I don't know, we can put anything in for now, default 14 14200. I don't know. Okay. So add a new RigState. That's not going to do it, is it? It does not exist in the current context. So we've got a public enum memory slot, sorry. It wants memory slot dot VFOA, that's it. IntelliCoated S based on, that's it. Ah, what's it done now? Stupid. So it doesn't like this. Cannot convert the memory slot to an int. Why? Can't convert it to an int. There's your int, and there's your, oh, it's probably an int 32. Let's call it an int 32. That's what it really is. An enum, they told me an enum int 32. Right, so it shouldn't complain no more. Argument can't convert memory slot. YAESU memory slots to int. Why? Why can't it do that? What exactly is happening here? Oh, welcome. Let's just welcome you. If you're still there, unless you've juggled off. You're still here, okay. So welcome everyone who comments. So, what I'm doing, let me just stop the break. We'll just save all that. Let's see if we can still build this up. We're writing some software, a software front end, USB pluggable to your YAESU radio, FT-891. And why we're doing it, or people already done something like, I don't really know, and it's probably a good thing that I don't know. So we've got this radio, and it's plugged into the real radio, and we can control radio, and we're trying to make it look as far as possible like a FT-710 stroke FTX1 type of thing, or DX, what's the other ones, FTX10, I don't know, MPS, I don't know. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. We've got various things we can do, like we can bring up the menu, we can do some scanning. Still got to change these colours yet. At the minute we're making, hang on, let's get back to the main one. We're making A and B work on the VFO, so we're going to swap VFO A and B. There's your main frequency, and then you got your sub frequency. Now on the 710, if you swap them, it'll put B over to here and A down here. So it still keeps all the information, but it swaps them over. Standard stuff, really. But we want to create a rig. We're creating a dictionary to store the RigStates. We've got a class called RigState, which incorporates pretty much everything that you need to store a state of a channel or VFO or anything like that. And if there's something missing, we'll add it to it. And we're going to store them in a dictionary. So the first two entries are going to be VFO A, and then second one with VFO B. And subsequent ones in the same list will be channels, and all, you know, memory groups, whatever you want to call it. So that's basically what it is, and we've got certain functionality. I suppose we could do a scan. Let's just do a scan. colours aren't right because I've recently made this background dark instead of light, so don't know if there's anybody on. The bands have been not too good. Well, my aerial's crap. I keep saying it, my aerial's crap. But this HF, it defies logic sometimes. Antenna wise. Just have a random wire put up, maybe that'll be as good as any. Right, so you can go down here now, you can try and find some signal strength. Hopefully there'll be someone there and not just noise. So you can put them over here when you find them.
My name is 9 November Alpha Italy Mike from the Republic of Kosovo.
It's connected to the radio with a USB cat control. So it's no good without a radio. Although you can run it, it'll probably take Morse code. It'll try and decode Morse code from the PC's microphone. You have to stay quiet. It doesn't always work, especially if you.
I speak Juliet Kilo Tango. Kilo Tango.
There's red hot in here. You don't always capture them. You can try and get them. Yeah, you can try and get them, but you'll have to move this. Carry on looking. Well, anyway, once you've got a few, you can click them on. You can click them on.
Thanks a lot, my dear friend. Lima Delta X-ray from Zulu 62 November Sierra. 5-1 Delta X-ray, Sugar. 9.
And you can send them to your quick memory bank. And all this kind of stuff. And you can go over to your menu system. Got loads of work to do on it. So I mean, all I can say is have a skim through some of the last videos, the last live streams. They're hours long, so you just have to skim through and just get a gist of what's happening, basically. Anyway, so we're just going to get the VFO working, so that's what we're trying to do today. So yeah, so we're going to be able to press this button at the end of the stream and go from this one to that one, and use the same system to store memory channels. Yeah, so just writing a new class for it. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to store RigStates. Now RigStates is a class with everything to do with the radio. in it. There's fields for different things, so yeah, we might have to add more, take bits away. So anyway, let's just crack on. So we want in the constructor, we want to just run this, so it just runs and it initializes different things. So obviously, well, it's not liking that though, so don't know why it's not liking that. Can I copy that? Cannot convert memory slots to an int. So memory slots, you can't convert it to an int. Right, let's try it with a old school struct then. And I'll do a public constant int. And then we'll go doesn't like that, so it's one of them and one of them. Right, so we've got that, now it's okay. So now you know why I use a struct instead of an enum. I don't know why they don't like using them. Anyway, so we can create, keep it simple for now, and we'll have, we don't need to specify that again. So we'll reuse the value after we've set it, and we'll set this one to 7, I don't know, 150. Okay, so we'll set the mode. So the rs dot mode, is it called mode? Yeah, equals. Now we need to find modes. So we've got some modes already in our my struct. So we've already created some struct for modes, I think. I did do, but I've moved them. RigState changes. Yeah, here's the modes. So rig modes. Yeah, okay. So we'll set up equals rig modes dot, let's say SSB. Right, it's not liking that, so what's it? It's a get set a RigState mode. What's the value of mode there? It's not telling me. So I've got to go into RigState and there's mode, operating mode. So it's made a class and called it operating mode for some reason. Oh, it's done one itself. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It seems to have, yeah, so we don't want that really. Well, we could use it, but I don't want to use that. So it's expecting an operating mode. I don't know if that is the same as my one. Hang on. Now I've got loads more, look. So we'll use mine. So we'll have to modify RigStates. So it's gone ahead and I got AI to make this last week. It's gone ahead and done a few funny things. So right, we don't really want that. Although it's cleverly done it as that, so it would state. Right, so maybe we can just make ours the same. We don't want two lots. Never duplicate data. Anything to do with computers, never have two lots of things doing the same thing. Never a good, it's a bad idea. So I'll tell you what, I'll just go rig modes then. Let's just change it. Oh, so it's there. So we'll change it. Right, so we'll just say rig modes, and it won't know what I'm talking about because it doesn't know where to find rig modes. So structs, no, it's not in structs. In where did I put it? RigStates. So it's in RigStates. Okay. Can't find it now. Hang on. Have I got one here? Yeah. Okay, so I can go to no dictionary. No, down here. I got so much stuff now. Yeah, so we'll put it in here. Alright, so I'll be able to use rig modes. Is it rig modes or rig states? I can't remember. It's not in there, that's why. It's actually here. Rig states. Yeah, it's a problem. Right, so we're on rig modes now. Rig modes dot, and we'll call it. It hasn't got USB. It's got SSB1, which is, it doesn't like it. Cannot convert a byte to a rig mode. Right, so we can just call that. I'll just call it a byte or a uint. No, what is it called? I don't know. Anyway, that'll do it. We've not used this anywhere yet, so we can do what we want with it. So now mode will be able to be set, and it default to an SSB. So if you want to override it, you can override it. So rig modes SSB1, there you go. So that's your mode. What else do we want to say about yeah, that's all we need to say at the minute. So we'll make that one the same, and that one will be SSB2, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so upper sideband, no, it's probably the other way around actually. Right, let's just make that the other way. So what we're going to do now is we've created two things. See if it'll run it. Now we've got to, we need to make it static really. I'll try and make it static. I don't know if it will need. Nah, it won't like static. Right, so we'll have to just instantiate it. Right, so a new memory slot. So we'll put it in the Windows. We can't see it. Right, put it in down here. Wherever we're doing it. So we've got a RigState. So it needs to go down here somewhere. Have we created anything else? No. So we'll do a. Oh, we created a function menu. That's fine. So we could just as well do a memory slot, memory slot equals a new memory slot. Okay, so we've got a new memory slot. Actually, we need to do it slightly different. We need to put that up the top here, RigState and public static memory slot, there we go. Okay, we've got a VFO RigState list. Right, so we've not used that yet, so we need to change that. It's without reference, so we get rid of that. We put it now in its own class. So we've got memory slot, so we're initializing a new memory slot. That's it. Okay, so that'll run the memory slot constructor and that'll set up the VFOs. So I'll do a little bit of a console write line. Console write. And we'll write that VFO A equals, and then we'll just do we've got to get it out of the dictionary, so memory slot dictionary, and we've got to find it with a key value pair. Retrieve from dictionary. Show me the key value pair thing. Try get int VGA out state. Right, that's not what I wanted. Using key value pair. Doesn't know what I'm talking about. No, you don't do what you don't do. Now I've got a function. RigState. Yeah, that's it. If you want to treat more than one, yeah, actually matters. So, right, so actually matters, yeah, for that's where I've used it in the past. So just to get the one, well, we can do, yeah, we can get them out. Let's get them out and only write the console write once. So I'll put that in there. For each key value, int RigState item in slots. No, it's not slots anymore, it's that. Right, so key and the value, and it's not frequency, so we called it something else. So it's looking for, what's it looking for? So the value, and we want the VFO frequency in hertz. VFO A frequency in hertz. That'll do. And we also want, let's just get rid of that and put get the, so we'll have a right there and we'll take out the value of mode, which is going to put a number in, and that's it. Right, so that'll run after it's set them up, and if it didn't like it, it'll complain. So have a look down here and run it up, and you should see some information. Right, where's he put the actual program? No. Item with the same key has already been added. Right, okay. Same key. Yeah. You have to do a safety check. So we can't put 2 in the same location. You have to remove it first. So we'll put B there. I've got code for all this in my main project, so I could just copy it over. It's all working. I suppose that would be easier than trying to do this from scratch. Right, an item with the same key has already been added. Right, okay. Where? Same key. That's the value. That's the key. Oh, it's my fault. I didn't differentiate between the one and the other. That's 0 and that's 1. Right, so that will work. Yeah, right, okay. Right, so down here we should have 2 values. There they are. So it's saying 0 index, the frequency, and then the mode, and then and that's the mode for the other one. So there it is. Yeah, that's it. So that would actually work, and you can retrieve the value either by you could write a function that returns it as a. So many different ways of doing it, it's crazy really. Object that can be simplified. Can be simplified, right, okay. What are you talking about? Right, anyway, so what we need to do now then is, now we've got these rig states, we need to be able to toggle from one to the other. And write the frequency down. It's quite. Hello, Andy. How are you doing, mate? Oi, Andy. Welcome. You alright? Are you suffering down there, or is it okay? I'm suffering in this room. Yeah, suffering of the heat. It's like an oven. But the power supply's red hot. Nah, it's not too bad. I'm only running 1 rig. I've got the other 2 rigs off, so doing more work. I don't know why. Should be doing something else. Anyway, so let's get these VFOs running. So I just want to swap the VFO. So I suppose the first thing we could do is get this A-B button working. Right, let's go over to the mouse down. There it is. So we need to do something in here, like swap it. When we press it, it needs to swap the value. So now for swapping the value, that's not. So we need a RigState, a VFO. It's alright storing, we've got to store the parameters at 0 in the dictionary for VFO A and a number 1 index for VFO B. But when we swap them back and forth, we're not altering the dictionary, we're swapping variables. So what we need to do is go over to the top. I suppose we could do it in memory slots. We need to create not only a dictionary, we need to create a VFO. So what we'll do is we'll create a public static when we retrieve a channel, anything above index 1 will be a memory channel. We've got to put it into a VFO. Bit warm, yeah. We've been working out in the heat today. We've had to drink loads of water. It's crazy. We had to put umbrellas up to keep the heat off a bit and wear a hat. Yeah, it's evil really. And so the worst thing is, if I was down on my ground floor, I'd be nice and cool. But all my equipment's in this room, because in the winter downstairs is freezing. So I bring it up here, then it's all up here, and get roasted. I could set up a laptop or another computer downstairs and then get all this onto a computer downstairs. I don't want to unravel all this. I'll have to take the coax down and extend it and take the rigs and power supplies. It's not the weather for moving stuff, is it? So unless I create myself, buy another 891 and set myself up a little space on the ground floor. Yeah, or leave the one radio up here, take the little one down. Yeah, I could do that. Maybe I'll do that at some point. So we need to swap one of these values to the other. So these are temporary stores. So we're going to call it for static. Now this is going to be a RigState again. And we're going to call it VFO. Now this is, yeah, it gets confusing. So now we're going to call it main and sub, right? So we're going to call this main. Well, main. I don't know what should we call it. RigState. Main RigState. That's what we'll call it. And equals a new. Can we do this up here? Maybe. Yeah, should be able to. RigState. Okay, and that's all we want in. Just to create the RigState. And then we want a sub RigState. So main and sub RigState. There we go. We created two RigStates. There's nothing in them. So when we do our initial setup of the dictionary, we need to populate the RigState. So we could just do down here. So we need to, yeah. Right, we need to take out, where's that RigState? Try get slots, try get RigState, memory slot A, out state. Yeah, we can use that. Right, so we just want the one slot out for that. Right, let's get this out of the way. Right. So we've got them. What we just got them there, and what we're gonna just put in there. Right. So we're gonna. It's not slots. It's memory slot dictionary. If memory slot dictionary, try get a value. We want slot A. Does not contain a definition for slot A. Right. Memory slots. It should do. So this one will be main. What do we call that one? Main RigState. Main RigState, sub RigState. So I'll just call it M for now. Out. M. So it doesn't like this, so it's coming up, but it's not liking. Right, so we've got sub RigState, memory slots. It's memory slots. Dot VFO A. Oh, we need to get rid of that up there, off there. Okay, so we've got that, and that should fetch that out. Out M. So all we got to do is make well, no, it'll make that right. So once we've got the values, so we just got to make it equal So we go up to here and we go main rig state, just as easy as this, equals M. Right, that's the one. I need to get the other rig state, so its initial state back into the VFO memory. So this one, we're not going to reuse it because so this is sub. Let's call it main and sub. Main and sub. And then we'll need to do main here and sub. Right, that's it. So we fetched it out. We've created two, put it into a dictionary, accessible from a key value pair or a key. And we're fetching it out again and pushing it into a variable that we're using for main and sub. So when we want to swap A and B, we've got to make so we'll need to keep, right, we need a transition state. So if I make main sub equal main, I can't make, so if I make sub equal main, I can't make main equal sub. So I need to keep, as soon as I make one equal the other, the other one will be exactly the same. So it needs an intermediate state, or we could just fetch it from the memory. Yeah, so we just fetch it. So we write to the memory any changes, and we update the state. Yeah. So we always can fetch it, but VFO A and B can be something different. It's quite a clever or quite a crazy thing they do. So, and we always want to make sure if we change a value of sub, main or sub, that it reflects in the dictionary. So you've got to write to the dictionary, edit it, do an update in there. So just, yeah, it gets more complicated. I've done all this before, but anyway, a long time ago. Right, so far we can put the data in, but then we come to swap it. So you need basically a dummy one to write it into, but then you could get confused easy on handling them. You want an easy way to handle them. This just builds to, there's hardly anything in there. We put more stuff in after, prints it out, and then takes it back out and makes them equal, puts, oh, that wants to be sub rig state, that's right. So we've done that. Oh, that's no good, that needs to be B, VFO B. Right, okay, so all that's good at the minute. So what we need to do is write a function that does all, wraps all this up, so we don't want to be dealing with this kind of stuff. We just want a simple thing that says A B button pressed, swap them over. So we'll write a function, set up VFO, so we'll write a little function now here. Right, so it's going to have to be a public function. Public static void, call it swap VFO, swap VFOs. Okay, so it doesn't need to know anything. No, you don't need to send it anything. Right, you're just going to swap them. So it's how we swap them is the story. So we've got to always deal with the memory slot. And once we've retrieved, we need to know which one is the current. We need to always know which is, if it's VFO A or B that's in memories, in the main memory slot, and the other one will just be the opposite. So we need to know who occupies the the main. So this is when the YAESU guys made their firmware in a microcontroller, but don't forget it's a microcontroller. They'd have had to write some, it's probably based on time. It's what they've done over time, you know, that's what they're used to it. Like, if you're trying to do it from scratch, it's not, it's, you know, there's more to it than meets the eye. So anyway, we'll have to public static. Now we need to know who occupies main. Yeah. Yeah, so what we're going to call it. Current occupier of main. That'll do. Occupier, I can't spell. Why can't I spell? I'm not useless at spelling. I should have gone to school, really. 2 C's. 2 C's, right. Current occupier of main. Main RigState, yeah, main RigState. Right, and we're gonna give it a value of, actually we need to tell it what it is, byte. Shouldn't be using bytes, I should use the other word, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Equals no, can't remember what I call it now. Right, memory slots. So memory slots dot VFOA, that's the default one. That's the current occupier of main RigState. So you might want to put the current occupier of sub RigState. Could be out of one of the memory channels, couldn't it? Any of them could be. Yeah, so instead of writing to that, you want to make sure you change the memory channel. But do you want to alter your memory channel on the fly and then write it back to it? Or do you want to use it? No, because you might not want to edit a memory channel. You might want to, I don't know, go into it, but you want to always bring it back. I don't know. So, okay, we'll go with that. Now, yeah, we'll leave the other one. So we need to give it, right, so current occupier of main RigState. I don't know, it gets confusing. I suppose ChatGPT or Gemini could help work it out, but it might just make a hash of it. I don't know. Might not. Might do a good job, but I won't be able to follow it then if they do too much with it. You've got to be able to track it yourself in your own mind, otherwise you'll get lost. So we got a current occupier of main. Now I'm just trying to think if there's a scenario we want to know who's the current occupier of rig. Well, let's just put it in. Let's just put it in. Current occupier of sub. Now we'll make that B. Okay, so that's just starting up, so we could look at those. So, yes, because we'll need to know which one. So if we go down here, swap VFOs. So we're going to swap A to B. I ought to look what it does on a real radio, really. What's mine do? So it just swaps over. Let's turn it. Just swaps it over, back and forth. That's all it does there. I've never used it myself. I don't use that, but you know, it's got to be there. So it just goes back and forth, and it'll set whether it's USB, FM, whatever it is. I don't know. So if I go into, hang on, swap that there, change the mode to FM on that one, right, and then swap them. No, swap them. Yeah, that's swapping it. So if I run this up, will it let me run this at the minute? Yeah. Right, so if I just run this up, and I'll swap the radio and see what happens on the display. It ain't going to do anything. Oh, it changed the frequency and the mode, yeah, so it will do something. So we're sort of doing it. Yeah, we've got that. That's weird. So there's something there wrong. So if I go AB, we're swapping from AB, but the software isn't doing it, the radio's doing it. Yeah, so that FM should be white all the way around. So, and it's not reflecting A and B because I haven't done any of that yet. So I would have to read A and B. Yeah, I think we're going to have to decide whether we're going to run it from the radio side, because the swap VFO A and B on the software is different to the A and B on the radio. Yeah, it's not it's a separate thing. So you could have an A and B on the radio and an A and B on the software. I don't know. It gets complicated. I mean, ultimately, you're probably not going to touch the radio. You're going to be on this. So it's this that needs to control it, and does it via cat controls. But I mean, it will reflect. So you sort of got two A and Bs. One on the radio. I'll just send it to CW. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's see if we can do a swap of it. So, to swap from VFO, so first we need to find out who is the occupier of main. So we're doing if occupier of main. Oh, we just need to grab the information out of a memory slot. So yeah, so this is how we do it. 0 and 1 index of the memory slot dictionary. You can edit and change the values. Anything from 2 and above are memories that you can't change by altering characteristics on the screen. You have to go into it and edit it, or it might ask you, do you want to update it? And you go, no, I don't want to update it, I'm just using it for something else. Right, so these are the only two. So I'll put a little note here for so memory slot index 0 and 1 are read write, and memory slot index greater than 1 are read only unless well, we'll just say read only. Read only. There we go. Okay. So that you can read and write to them, but the program won't let you. It'll ask you first. But 0 and 1, any changes you make to it get changed. So in theory, you could load up your VFO memory B first before you swap it. Maybe, I don't know. This is the bit of the radio that's going to fall down on it. Getting this bit right. If it's not right, it's not what people expect. It's going to be confusing. I wasn't initially going to put it in there, but I'm trying to make it look like. Where's it gone? Why have my main window disappeared? Does that? Keeps doing that. Right, so yeah, so wait, let's just do it. Right, so we're going to use. There's your rig states. Tells you who's got the slot. Current occupier. So the current occupier could be A or B of main, and we know where to find A and B. So to swap A and B, we can do. Let's just go down here. If current occupier is equal to memory slots A, right, if your memory slot A, then we need to copy memory slot B. If you're A, we want to put memory slot B into A. Yeah, because we're swapping it. So what we're going to do is try and get a value. Let's just try and get a value. So we're going to make a so if it's A in the main and we want to swap it to sub, so we create a sub, so we get the value of sub out, and then we make no, main value, so we need to make main rig state it gets confused, especially when it's warm. Right, it's just not enjoyable at the minute. We're not in the heat we got here as well. Right, it's stopping the old brain from working. Right, so if it's currently the main is A, which is typically the normal one. We're saying we want to put sub into main, so we're getting out sub, and we want to make main rig state equals sub, right? Which is the, at this point it's not in the dictionary. This is the just swapping a, yeah, we're swapping it into main. This could be interesting. So we're immediately putting it into main to sub into main. So we've done that, so we need to do an else. I don't know if this is going to work. So we'll just do an else. If it's not, if the main is not VFO, then the main is going to be, but then we've got memory channels it could be as well. I think we'll ignore the memory channels for a minute. Just get these swapping off that button. Yeah, so it gives you functionality. We'll sort it out, but I mean it's a bad. I like to sort it out beforehand, but I can't. Right, so get the logic right here. So else, if so, I'll just do an else if if it's going to be one or the other. So we'll do an else if so we can understand the logic. Else if main equals slot B. Alright, then we need to do something else. So this will be main okay, we're out main. So if that's already, if it's not A, put sub in it. Else if it's equals to B, which it is, if it's not A it's going to be B at the minute, then we'll put so if main is in, right, so we haven't finished here, we need to put, so if main is B we need to put Christ knows. I don't know. This is punishment. This is not. I'm gonna have to knock this on the edge a bit. Not yet, but it's not enjoyable at the minute. It needs to be enjoyable. It's probably. I need to get out this heat. I think. Let's just get this little. I can't think straight. Right. So, God. So if it's if it happens to be this one, B, in memory slot A, in the main, if it's B, then we want to put A back into it. Yeah. So we want to. So the still be main. So if it's B, then we want to swap back to A. So if we get A and put it out as main, so main RigState is A main. That's right. But we need to finish off. We need to swap. We haven't swapped the B one yet. So, and this is separate to writing anything to memory. Hang on. So we're getting that out. So we need to do the opposite here. So we need to do this again. Down underneath. So we need to make this one main. Main. So we're going to be out main. Main. Okay, and this needs to be sub RigState. So we're getting main, we're saying try get the value of B and out it as main and put it into sub. That looks about right. So then we'll have to do a similar thing here. Right, and this one's going to have to be sub. Right, so we're going to say if it's main, so we're getting main is A. If it's B, we want to put into there. Then we want to put into sub. Sub. RigState, right. So we're putting sub into there, but we're taking it from A. No, we're taking it from... So if the main was B, we're putting A into the main, and then we're putting A into the main, so we need to put into the sub B. Right, okay. So we're putting A back into the main. Yeah, and then we're making sub is going back into B. Yeah, that's it. So that fits. Swap one way, and this one here. So if the main is A, we put the sub in it into main, and then we make main equal not B. No, it should have been A. Yeah, so we're changing out A for B, and then we're putting the sub as A. Okay. Alright, okay, now we need to update. Once we've done that, we need to update do an update, so we need to pass in the labels. So let's pass in the labels, yeah. Okay, so we've got frequency, main frequency label. That's not it. Function node, where is it? No, it's not there. Wireless is seen it. Oh, that is the label. Just got a drop shadow effect. So main frequency label. Right, so we need to pass that in. So we need to go a label. So the main frequency label, and we also need a label which is sub frequency label. Sub frequency label, and that should be sub. There it is. Yeah. So that's how we change that. Okay, so there's more to change, obviously, but. Right, so at the end, once it's finished, we need to update the labels. Right, so down here, we need to, at the finish, main frequency label dot content. Is it text block? No. What's it doing? It doesn't know what label is. Oh, it does. Doesn't know what content now is. Why is not? That's weird. Content equals. Doesn't know what label does not contain a definition. Right, so obviously it needs system controls on here. System Windows controls. Oh, it's ambiguity now between reflection, emit. Let's get rid of emit. Alright. Okay, so that's right. Okay, so main frequency label content equals so it'll be main RigState dot frequency right, so we don't know which one goes in. Oh, the main RigState frequency. Yeah, we're doing it in a bit of a weird way. So we'll use frequency. I can either use TX frequency or, which we've not set. What have we actually set up the top here? See, really we just want the frequency. It's set this stuff up. Where's it gone? It's set this up weirdly. It's done it in a weird way. So we don't need the class to be like that if we're using it in this manner. RigState. We just need to know its current receive frequency, its current TX frequency, and VFO frequency is gonna be the same as these anyway. So that's what's confusing. Right, yeah, so you don't need both. So we'll go on. So if you do split, what happens if you do split? B is maybe B is your frequency. Yeah, B is your transmit frequency if it's not the same. So this is going to confuse things. So RX frequency. I suppose we better do TX frequency as well if we want the same. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change this the way ChatGPT has set that up, or the other one. Not quite making sense. So that'll just make both the same. The mode can stay the same. Right, so we're gonna go so RX frequency. Okay, and yeah, so these are always the same because we're swapping over the sub and main. So it'll be sub RX frequency. So oh, we're swapping it there, so we're making, yeah, I don't know if this will work, but let's just see. So we need to put that in there, and it won't know where it is. So you've got to do memory slot dot, if I could spell memory, look at that. Right, okay, so I need this one here and that one there. Okay, so that should just swap it over and over again every time we press. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if we get something close. We've got obviously to change the mode and whatever else we want to change. Right, built. Let's start it up. How long are we going? 2 hours 35. Keep this to 3 hours, I think. Right, so we've got the button. We've currently got those two, so I'm going to press this now. Something happened, but it went straight back again. That's weird, isn't it? Let's try it again. Yeah, not sure what happened there. Something wrong with the logic. Let's just have a look up here. So we did TX and RX. And we added it to A and B. We're printing them out. Let's have a look here. So we've got 0 and 1 and oh right, I see, we're still on that, so we haven't set a value, so it needs to be RX frequency. The value mode is fine, yeah. Well, that wasn't the reason, so we're going to try get value A out as main, and we're making the RigState is main, so we put in main back into there, so that's getting it, and we put in B into sub, that's right. And what we need to do is just, instead of swap it, and just load the values. But it should be, once we swap them, it should swap back and forth. So if current occupier of rig main, oh, we've not changed the current occupier of rig main. We've not done anything with it, that's why. So current is equal, so, and we're setting it to B, and we need to do the current occupier of rig main equals memory slots dot VFO B. Okay, and then we need to do the current occupier of sub. That needs to go here, equals memory slots dot A VFO A. I'm going to do the same down here. So we're doing main, so current occupier is A, and it's the same again to that one. Right, so we got current occupier of sub equals memory slots B. Right, so we've gone into it, and we're making the current occupier, which we're using down here, so we need to know, that's why it was never changing. Let's just try it again. So we've got another 20 minutes and that's it. Knock it on the head. Right, so we'll swap AB. Now these are just placeholders, they're not being loaded, but so the first click won't make no sense, and it's still, oh, it is doing something. Right, so it's the top one's not, I know what it is. It's actually reading the radio, so I'll have to turn the radio off a minute. Hang on, it's actually getting the info. That's that glitch. So can I turn it off now? And if I just press AB, yeah, so that's working. It's just that I've not sent the current frequency to the radio, and it's just periodically reading the frequency that the radio set. So we're going from 14200 to, yeah. So we can extend that to the mode as well. So that's working. Because you can't run the software with the radio switched off. Because it's still talking to the USB side of the stack, the interface. But there's no commands being sent from there. Because you can power the radio on from the power on commands. You can still talk cat to it. But obviously it can't read any, it won't use anything. Like if I ask it for the frequency, it won't reply back. Although that is weird. Yeah, anyway. Right. Maybe you can just power it on and you can't get anything else. You can power it on and off and anything else just ignores you. Yeah, it must be that. Right. So we've got A and B. So what we need to do is retrieve those values to start with. So we need to load them, load the current ones up. So we've got one called swap. We need to public static void. So load. I'll tell you what, we call it init VFOs. We're going to initialize the VFOs. We still need to pass in the labels. And all it'll do is load them up. It's not swapping any, so it's just going to create a RigState. So just do this basically. So it's making main and it's equal to that. RigState is A and B sub is sub. That's all we need to do, but we also need to do this. So do that as well. So if we do that once we boot it up, everything should be set to needs to go up into the main program. So we're doing memory slot, and we might as well do it from there actually. So just initialize the labels from the defined. Okay, so it needs to know where it is. So it's a memory slot. Okay, so when I boot up this time, it should bring in the values specified here, 14.1750. So let's run it up, and we should be able to swap them back and forth. And we'll add the mode to it, and at least we've got something. Right, so we've got 142 and that. So if we swap, yeah, so we've got that going. We need to swap the FM and the USB now around. So we've got the information there. So what we need to do is also pass in. We've got a lot of stuff to pass in here. So yeah, VFO A and B need to change as well. So they're not changing. And they need to change, and also this FM. So we need to pass in quite a lot of stuff. Unless we just, tell you what, we'll just pass in the main window. That's come out again, hasn't it? So let's see if we can pass the main window in. Main window, we're not passing the main window anywhere. So we'll just create a I'll do that at the top. So main window, main window. Oh god, I'm useless today. Main window, main window. And you're gonna just do this when you boot up. Main window equals this. Okay, that ought to do it. So we're just going to pass in main window. So we get here, and we just don't need that at all. We just need main window and call it that. That's it. So we should be able to reference everything from. So just put main window in the front of that. What's it doing? Right, hang on. Copy. Main window dot. Main window dot. Why is that? Oh, it's got its own thing. Main window dot. Main window dot. So we're just passing main window in here. That's it. So we can get to everything now we want from here. So we want to copy this again. So we want a main window label. No, we don't. VFO. VFO. A label. Don't know what I called it. So set frequency, function mode, main VFO label border. That's it there. Oh no. That's the border we want. Oh, we do need to swap this out. No, that stays the same. So we just need the name of it. Swapping. Right, so that one is going to be content. We need to we'll have to do a switch state here. So the content of that is going to have to be we're going to have to switch case, and that'll be mode, and mode is just a byte, so that's not going to be any good for that. So we need to just go here. Right, string mode equals string empty. Okay, and we're gonna go switch mode case. Now we've got different modes. I don't know if we've got string value. We should have some string values in here. Let's have a look. Where did we put them? So we've got the modes, but have we got them as a text file? Oh, change rig mode. So we've got a rig mode class. So it's returning a rig mode class and the mode, and it's returning the class. So the rig mode class, this is crazy, isn't it? It's just name and background. That's what I've already done some work on this already. So we need to use that and bring it back because we've got to change some colours. The mode depends on a lot of things. But we're doing not mode, are we? We're doing VFO and mode. Right, so okay, so we need this one anyway, so change mode, which is in RigState. So we'll have to go over here and we'll have to go actually we don't need that there, so we'll just do a RigState changes dot. Right, we need to put the mode in there, so that's the mode. And it's going to return a rig mode class. So we'll go here, we'll go rig mode class rm equals that's it. So all we've got to do now is forget about the state and just make the mode. So that's the VFO label. We don't want that. We want main window dot that's that next one, rig mode label border. Okay, we're going to need that rig mode label border, and we want to change, so the states rig mode class peak, we've got background color and foreground color. Right, that's it. So we're changing that, and we got the name. So that one moves up to there. So that's not rig mode state. That's not that. We're gonna have to leave that one a minute till we work out. Let's do this other one. So rig mode equals main rig mode label color, rig mode label border. Hang on, this border label border, yeah. So we need to do background color. Background equals then rm dot background color. Now it won't like the background color because it's got to be a brush, and this is a color, so we've got to do a new solid color brush. Still, oh, we've got to cast it into a solid color brush. No, doesn't know what that is. So we need to put in here media using system Windows media. Don't know if that's even a valid one. Oh, you don't put a dot in. Right, okay, so it should take the solid coloured brush. There's a type which is not valid, so we don't need that. Maybe that's it. So we're going to put the solid background. What else are we changing? It's only the background, and then we got the label foreground colour. Rig mode label, where are we looking at that? Oh no, it's bound. Have we bound it to it? Oh look. We've bound it to the border colour, that's fine. Yeah, the background colour is bound. So now the label colour. It's So we do need to set the label colour. Maybe we're not doing it yet. Right, we've maybe not got that far. So rig mode, label colour. Foreground equals a new solid colour brush. That'll be RM dot foreground colour. Okay, so that does that. So we changed. So we're initialising whichever one we've set, so we can try that out. Right, I'm getting thirsty now. What's next? So we change. What are we changing? The rig mode. So rig mode is there. We've got a sub rig mode as well. Right, so we need to do the same again here. So that's sub rig mode. Why are we doing the sub? I wonder why we did the sub first and not the main. So we initialise them. Yeah, we don't know why we did that. Oh, we did it there. Yeah, so why are we working on the sub instead of the main? Sub RigState. That's not right, is it? Right, so yeah, so we should have put main in there really. Main RigState mode. We're not swapping it, so that equals all this. So we've done the main one. Then we need to do the okay, we need to do the same again with the sub. So rig mode class, main and sub. I could just do main and sub again. Right, so we'll call that main. Right. We're getting close to finishing it. Not finishing it, but it's for today because it's too hot in here. Sub of the day. Give the sub of the day. Right. What isn't it like? What is going on here? Oh. No, it's alright, we're already using them. So, rig mode class main. Oops. Already using that variable, and we've got rig mode class sub. Okay, and this needs to be sub and sub. So that takes care of the mode and loads them up from the thing. So from that we should be able to load them up. So if we make call it a day, go in the yeah. Gonna knock it off in about another few minutes. It's crazy, isn't it? I should get outside. So what we're gonna do is make the mode. We'll call the mode down up here FM. That'll do. So FM and SSB. Tell you what, let's do AM just for a laugh. Right. Okay. So we should be able to see when we initialize it, which we've already done. let's build it. It won't like it because I'm not sending them the right stuff now. Takes 2 arguments, so we're changing that for main window now. Main window. And we've got another one here. Swap VFOs. Oh, I think that wants main window as well. Yeah. Right. Let's fire it up. It should change the frequency and swap the modes. Right, so it's loaded up USB and FM. The colours are wrong. Let's swap. I haven't told it to swap the USB and FM, have I? I've only set it from the initialization. Right, so something wrong with the colours. So we're getting VFO main. So we've got the frequency out. Yeah, set the frequency. And now we're changing the colours. So the background colour and the foreground. Now we're setting them to whatever the rig mode class is for the main state mode. Alright. RigState. So what is a RigState? Hang on. So the RigState is... Oh, it's one of these. Now, did we store it? Did we actually store the colours? We didn't, did we? Hang on. We created a new... Oh, I don't know what we did. So, we only set mode, so we're trying to get a colour. Oh no. Yeah, change mode, and that's the mode, and that will return the rig mode class. So, yeah, there we're getting the rig mode class, we're taking the colours out. So the background colour and the foreground. Oh, I'm not taking sub. That should be sub. Sub. So that's the sub and that's the main. So that's why they were both the same. Right, let's just have a look. Yeah, so we've got FM down here, and we've got USB there. So if we swap it, that's changing, but we haven't told it to swap this. So down here we need to do something else. So we're setting the label. So what we ought to do is, yeah, so that should be easy enough to do by copying. Yeah, so we need to copy this out. Yeah, that bit out as well. Right, so we need that one to be there. So we've got the frequency sorted out. And is it easy enough to just do this? Yeah. So that should be it as well, shouldn't it? I don't know, let's give it a go. Maybe it's as easy as that. Or maybe that just won't do anything. Right, we've got the initial there, so we click... Ah, there we go. Ah, it's not changing the FM, the colour's changing. But, yeah, so that should be FM and that should be SSB. No, it should be blue actually. So something wrong. Where did he get the colours from? RigState change. So Dodger white, Dodger brown, green, AM, FM white. So it's getting white. SSB should be Dodger blue. So it's not getting the Right, so we're passing in a 0. So we're getting this here, make rig mode. But when we initialize the rig mode, so it's right. So we're getting it off, yeah, up here. So we're getting it. This is where we're initializing them. RigState. So we're not actually telling it what rig mode is there, but we're doing it on the swap. No, we're not doing it on the swap. So, right, we're doing it up here, rig mode. So we're setting up the VFOs. Oh, we haven't set. Yeah, from the mode it changes the colour. So we haven't actually. Are we telling it to get the rig modes? So we're initializing it. We're setting the colour here, yeah, from the rig mode. But we're setting up rig mode. Right, so we're saying FM. So 0 is none. So it is doing that bit, yeah, and AM is 5, that one is 4. So if we go down to here and change mode and have a look at go to definition. So that's 4, that's 5, so black white. Black on white for FM, green and white for AM. So hang on, what are we setting up? We're setting up FM and AM, yeah. So that would give us white background, green background, and white and black. And we're getting, what are we getting when we fire this thing up? So we're getting the USB, it should be blue. FM's right, I think. I can't switch. Oh, FM is white background, so that's wrong, that's green. So if I swap it and back again, so I'm getting FM, so it's out by 1 by the looks of it. USB should be Dodger blue, so we're out by 1, which is weird. Right, so why are we out by 1? VFO A, B. So we're out by 1. So we're using that as the mode, and it's bringing up 4 and 5. Then we're going down here and we're getting the mode that we're storing is 4 and 5. So it's change mode. Let's go to that. Okay, that's the one we've already been back to. So it's returning that one. So we got 4 and 5. Yeah, green and white. Yeah, that's right. Green and white. So I think we had green and white, didn't we? But it's saying USB. It's saying USB. So the colours are right. Green and white, yeah, but it should be saying AM instead of USB. So obviously I've made a mistake somewhere. So we initialize the VFOs. So we're not actually changing it. We're changing the colour, but not the text. We aren't changing the name. That's right. So the name, it's the label. Yeah, I don't think we're doing that yet, are we? So that's what we've got missing. Yeah, we're not changing the name, only the frequency. So here we need to also change the name. So we need to change the background colour. Right, so then we go content equals so rmcm dot name. There we go. That's what we're missing. So the colours are working right, it's just not changing the name. And this one will be rm sub name. And we need to do the same down here as well. That's what the problem was. So this is the RigState change mode. So RM, that's right there, name. Sub. No, that's the wrong one. What am I doing? That's not the right one. No, it's the mode we want. Sorry, rig mode. Main rig mode label we want. So I've made that mistake there, that's no good. So it's not, I'm going actually crazy now. So sub. Okay, that's better. Okay. And down here we want rig mode label, that's right, and one down here for the sub. Right, okay, that needs to be sub. Yeah. Okay, so that should be it. Let's have a look. That should be it. Right. So we've got FM and AM, that's better. And we swap, and we've got AM and FM, and just frequency changes. Yeah. Okay. So that's sort of doing what we wanted. Obviously it's not sending anything to the radio. We'd need to transmit the master back to the radio if we want. Yeah. When we hit that, we'd have to, it only has to store the sub. Mind you, it could send the sub as well. There'll be a command for that, but that's another day. That's got to be another day. Anyway, we're getting there little bit by little bit. So unfortunately, it's a long-winded thing. It's a long-winded thing. So anyway, we'll call it a day at that. So we've gone over by 30 minutes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I wouldn't watch too much, but it's 7.3 or cheers at handy. That'll do. Right, okay, 7.3 all. Catch you later, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, hang on, what have I done? Right, see you later. Ta-da, mate. See you in a bit. Cheers.
Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler. Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation.
That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
You You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.